You are not depressed. Thousands of men are being prescribed the wrong thing for this. It's Dr. Tyler Stanley with Action TRT. Look, guys, thousands of men are being prescribed antidepressants for a problem that has nothing to do with their brain chemistry. And there's a decent chance you're one of them. You've been told you're depressed. Maybe the medication helped a little. Maybe it didn't do much at all. Either way, you're still not the guy you used to be. Still not firing the way you want to at work, at home, and in your head. And nobody has offered a better explanation until now. After working with over 1,200 men at my clinic, I started seeing the same pattern in men day after day. Guys who came in carrying a depression diagnosis, who had been treated for what showed up on a mood questionnaire, but never what showed up in their blood. And those are two completely different things. What I kept finding once I looked past the questionnaire was something the standard workup was never designed to catch. Something that explains every symptom on the depression checklist, but requires a completely different fix. And once I saw it clearly, I couldn't look at the standard approach the same way. I'm going to show you exactly why the depression label misses what's actually driving this in most of the men I see. What the real cause usually is, how to tell if this applies to you, and what you can actually do about it starting this very week. Point one, what the depression diagnosis actually tells you. Depression is a real condition. I want to be clear about that up front. It's real. I am not here to tell you mental illness doesn't exist or that nobody genuinely struggles with it. Some people do, but somewhere along the way, depression became the default explanation for a very specific cluster of symptoms that a huge number of men experience, particularly in their 30s, 40s, and 50s. And that default explanation came packaged with a default solution. Guess what? The serotonin theory of depression goes something like this. Your brain isn't producing enough of a chemical called serotonin. You've heard that, right? Which regulates your mood. And that deficiency is why you feel the way you feel. So the fix is a medication that increases serotonin availability in your brain. That's the model. It's been the dominant model in psychiatry for decades, and it produced an entire generation of prescriptions written for men who walked into a doctor's office feeling exhausted, flat, unmotivated, and disconnected from their own lives. The problem is the serotonin model has never been as solid as it was sold. The research behind it is shakier than most people realize, but more importantly, for the men watching this, that model was built to explain a mood disorder. It was not built to explain what happens to a man's body, mind, and drive when something deeper is failing at a biological level. And those two things can look identical on a questionnaire. A mood questionnaire cannot tell the difference between a psychiatric condition and a hormonal one. You are handed a diagnosis based on your answers to a survey. Nobody looked any deeper than that. So, if the serotonin model doesn't fully explain what's happening to these men, what does the medication actually do when they take it? Point two, why the medication doesn't fix it. If you've been on an antidepressant and it helped take the edge off, it feels like confirmation that the diagnosis was right. The medication did something, or so you thought. So the problem must be what the doctor said it was. That logic makes complete sense. The problem is it isn't actually proof of anything except that the drug had an effect. Antidepressants blunt emotional intensity. For a man who is suffering, that blunting can feel like relief. The darkness gets a little less dark. The anxiety quiets a little, but blunting emotional intensity and fixing the underlying cause of why you feel that way are completely different things. And for a large portion of men I see, the antidepressant did exactly what it does. It turned the volume down on the worst of it. It turned the volume down and left everything else completely untouched. The fatigue is still there, the flat motivation still there, the sex drive that disappeared is still gone. The sense that you're operating at about 60% of the man you used to be is still there because the medication was never aimed at any of those things. It moved one dial. The dials that actually needed adjusting were never touched. Feeling slightly less terrible is not the same thing as getting better. If the medication worked, you would not still feel like this. I'm not telling you to stop your medication. I'm not saying that. That is a conversation for you and your prescribing doctor, and it is not what this video is about. What I am telling you is that the fact that you are still watching this and still searching for a better answer is valuable information. And in my experience, men who are genuinely feeling better do not spend their spare time looking for a better explanation. So, how do you tell whether what I am describing actually applies to your situation? There is a specific pattern to look for, and it is not subtle once you know what you are looking at. Point number 3, how to tell if this is actually your problem. Here are the questions I ask when a man comes in carrying a depression diagnosis that has never fully explained what is going on with him. Did this come on gradually, not after a specific trauma or loss or identifiable life event, but more like the energy and drive just slowly turned down over a period of months or years until one day you realized you weren't yourself anymore? Is your sex drive significantly lower than it used to be? Not situationally, consistently. And when you're honest with yourself, has it been that way for a while? Are you still on the medication because stopping it felt worse, not because staying on it feels good? The men this applies to describe it a specific way. They say the antidepressant kept them from hitting the floor, but it never got them back to the ceiling where they were. They're functional, they're showing up, but the version of them showing up is slower, flatter, less motivated than the man they were 5 or 10 years ago. And they can't fully explain why. And neither, if they're being honest, could anyone who has treated them. If that lands, if you recognize the slow fade, the quiet disappearance of drive, the sense of being partially managed rather than actually fixed, then the label you are carrying may be describing a symptom rather than a cause. And that is the entire problem with this, because you cannot fix a cause by treating a symptom indefinitely. So, what is actually causing it? Here is what I find when I run the right tests on these men. Real quick, if this is the kind of content that you've been looking for, hit subscribe. Every week, I put out videos on the real root causes behind what men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s are dealing with, not the surface level stuff. We don't want to talk about the surface level stuff anymore. The things most doctors are not looking for and most patients never think to ask. So subscribe so you do not miss what is coming next. Point number 4, the real problem. Testosterone is the foundational, most crucial hormone for male energy, motivation, mood, drive, mental clarity, and of course, sexual function. It is not a supporting player. It is the master male hormone. It is the foundation. When it drops below the right level for your body, everything that makes you feel like you starts going with it. The fatigue, the flat mood, the loss of interest in things you used to care about, the brain fog, the irritability. You know what I'm talking about. The sense that something is just fundamentally off. Every single item on that depression checklist can be produced by low testosterone. And a serotonin targeted medication does not touch testosterone, not even a little. Here is what makes this harder to catch than it should be. The standard lab reference range for testosterone is so wide, like you can drive a Mack truck through it, extremely wide. A man can have a testosterone level that puts him in the bottom fifth of that range, be told the results are normal, and walk out of that office with a depression prescription he did not need. This happens every single day. I see it because normal on a population reference range and optimal for your specific body are not the same number. Trust me on this. I went through this myself. Years of fatigue. I don't know if it was depression. I guess it could be depression looking back on it. Loss of drive. Lying in bed, feeling like a shadow of who I was in my past. My labs came back and I was told everything looks fine, but fine was not the same as functional. Fine was not optimal. Once I found someone who actually looked at the full hormonal picture and optimized what needed optimizing, everything changed. Life changed, not gradually, it changed fast. And it's not just me. I have seen this across hundreds of men at my clinic, in this very clinic, men who have been on antidepressants for a year, 2 years, 5 years or longer, whose testosterone levels were clearly suboptimal, who had never been told that was even worth checking. Now, something sounds wrong with that. Once we address the actual hormonal driver, the things the antidepressants never touched came back. The energy came back. The drive came back. The version of themselves they thought was gone for good, it came back. Your testosterone is the single most important thing nobody has ever actually checked. So, what do you actually do with this starting today? Point number 5, the first step under the new map. Tonight, pull up your most recent blood work. Find it. Really, find it. Look for testosterone on the results. If it is not there, that is your answer. It was never checked. If it is there, look at the number. If your total testosterone is below 400, I want you to find someone who specializes in hormone optimization, not a general practitioner. They're scared to death of prescribing testosterone, not your general doctor running a routine annual physical, and have one specific conversation. Ask them based on my symptoms and my hormone levels together. Are we looking at the right problem? That is the question. You deserve a straight answer to it. You came into this video carrying a label that has never fully explained what is going on with you. That is not because you are a lost cause. It is because the system that gave you that label was looking in the wrong place. You now know there is another layer worth investigating. For a lot of men I work with, that shift in understanding is where everything starts to change, and it is a beautiful thing to see and witness. If this video landed for you, if you were like, whoa, who is that dude? What is he talking about? He's talking about testosterone. Wait, this guy diagnosed me with depression, but this guy said it could be testosterone. I get it. But if this video landed for you, watch this next, because there is a follow-up question almost every man asks after this conversation. And it goes something like this. Okay, but my doctor ran blood work and said everything looked fine. So what now? That is exactly what the next video is about, because normal on a lab result and actually healthy are not the same thing. And the gap between those two things is where a lot of men spend years going in circles. I'll break down exactly why that happens and what to do about it. Link is right there. Go watch it.